Hello, everyone, and welcome into Yelling from the Couch. I'm Brent Humphries, joined by co-host Gage Bertovich and Gordon Chatterton. Fellas, we are here for the NFC South Preview. Last week, we kind of took a break from the previews, and we did a little live fantasy football draft. I feel like everything went pretty well there, except for my grade, which was a C. We'll see about that. Guys, how we doing this week?
Well, my grade was a B, so I'm gonna win. Sorry.
My grade was a B as well, so
Well, I got a better B.
my only weakness was the kicker, and I don't count on him anyway.
I don't remember what my weakness was. I know my strengths, but I don't remember the weaknesses.
I didn't have any strengths. Mine was just a weakness.
What's that say about your team?
Gage, why don't we just go ahead and get into it right here, and you just go ahead and you tell us.
From turf to tears, it's injury fears. Who's sidelined this week in Gage's fantasy sphere?
Gage, it's not even week 1 yet. Do you have anything for us?
But we're trying to pull it up right now. I doubt it. I didn't have Haynes King, so I know I escaped that one. Let's see. Looking at it, there's no one on the injury report. Even though I got Deebo Samuel, I'm sure he'll pop up here, pretty freaking soon. Let's see here. Anybody? No, we got nobody right now before preseason week 1.
It's a first for Gage.
Yeah.
You mentioned the old Hall of Fame game the other day. Did either one of you all watch much of it?
I watched quite a bit. I watched like the first quarter and a half.
I do know that Haynes King, Chris Collinsworth is in midseason form because he said that Haynes King was the white Lamar Jackson. So,
I need to go back and watch this because I did not.
That's got to be Collinsworth. Like by week 1, I know week one time, like he was drawing like, phallic symbols on the screen.
Yeah.
Like in the first quarter, and I'm like, all right, he's in midseason form. Let's go. I love it.
That is pretty funny. I got to go find that clip.
Yeah, definitely got to check that out. So, yeah, I didn't watch much of it, but Carson Beck apparently had going to be pushing for the starting job with Jacoby there.
Which scares me because I don't want Trey McBride being thrown to by him.
Kenny Pickett got a start.
Yeah, and you know what? He looks like the worst one out of all of them.
Did you see the graphic that the Pitt Panthers put out for Kenny Pickett?
The Hall of Fame one?
Kenny Pickett, Hall of Fame in big letters, and in small letters, starting quarterback.
Yeah.
It was great there.
Pretty funny, though. Like, I saw that. I didn't even honestly take notice to it because I saw the caption first underneath. Yeah. That was like, our guy gets the start or whatever. And I just scrolled on by, and then someone else pointed it later. I was like, oh, that's pretty funny. That's pretty good.
Yeah, it's a little sneaky there. Hey, we got a guy, Hall of Famer, game starter. That's it.
Hall of Famer Kenny Pickett.
Yeah, so football's back, and this Thursday we'll start with week 1 of the preseason. A lot of our, all of our teams will be in action. You guys excited for preseason?
Each other.
Yeah, the Steelers and Packers. I mean, throw the records out when these two teams play in preseason week 1. Let me tell you.
But
there are no records anyway.
I know what's going to happen if the Packers go out and win. I'm not going to hear the end of it for like 3 weeks.
No, you won't hear it all. It's preseason. I just, unlike last time I remember playing the Steelers in preseason, I just want all my wide receivers to get out of the game with the healthy ACLs.
Hey, this is it's Clayton Tune. Is he going to be getting some playing time here Thursday, Gordon, in the game?
God, I hope. Well, if he does, I hope it's the only time he plays.
I was thinking, who is the backup?
No, it'd probably be Tyrod Taylor.
Yeah.
Look, we haven't went through our NFC North previews yet, guys. I'm not real sure who's on teams yet, but I do know Clayton Tune's there.
Clayton Cartoon.
Name that. It's not a good tune. You don't want that tune right there in your head. I can tell you that right now.
He'd even do good in the UFL.
And didn't he get cut from the Defenders?
Yeah,
well, he got cut from somewhere.
Aviators.
Yeah.
Gordon's UFL team cut him so he can go back to his.
Gordon, you must have a thing for Clayton Tune.
You just can't get
I
rid
ain't
of
got
him.
for Clayton Tune. He's like some of the draft picks that they've drafted where I'm like, why in these would you draft them? Mainly UCLA prospects.
So there's nobody injured on Gage's fantasy team yet. We'll check back next week and see.
Yeah.
So we've hit 5 divisions so far, and we're hitting a division this week, the NFC South. And guys, this one's going to be rough, guys. This is a bad division. It was a bad division last year. It's competitive.
3-way tie for first place.
3-way tie for first. Nobody had a winning record. You don't have to have one to win this division here. And even the Saints, they come in second, just 1 game back last year. Guys, are you guys ready to chat it up about the NFC South?
I guess as ready as we'll ever be.
Look, we put the weakest division before we hit the 2 best divisions, right? So, why not?
Yeah.
Gotta have a lull somewhere. I mean, we even skipped last week doing a division to do fantasy draft because we were dreading doing this NFC South. But we're here. We're here now. So
they did have a good draft, though. I will give them that. Not great, but not a bad one.
Why don't we go ahead now, if you guys are ready to start off the previews, and let's get started with the number 1 team, the team that won this division last year at 8-9, the team that we just mentioned in the Hall of Fame game, Kenny Pickett and the boys. No, not really. Actually, he is there, but Haynes King. Like either one of them guys are starting because Bryce Young will be the starter for the Carolina Panthers. The Carolina Panthers win the division last year at 8-9. So let's go ahead and let's talk about their free agent moves. They signed quarterback Will Grier, quarterback Kenny Pickett, running back A.J. Dillon, wide receiver John Mechie III, tight end Felipe Franks. Didn't know he was still in the league. Tackle Shane Forsythe, tackle Rasheed Walker, center Luke Fortner, Kentucky, edge Jalen Phillips, pretty big signing there, linebacker Nick Hampton, linebacker Devin Lloyd, who I wanted the Bengals to get, safety Nick Scott, and punter Sam Martin. In the draft, in the first round, they draft tackle Monroe Freeling from Georgia. Second round, defensive tackle Lee Hunter from Texas Tech. Third round, wide receiver Chris Brazil, the second from Tennessee. Fourth round, cornerback Will Lee, the third from Texas A&M. Fifth round, center Sam Hike from Kansas State. Fifth round, safety Zaki Wheatley from Penn State. And in the 7th round, linebacker Jackson Kuwach from Miami of Ohio. The Redhawks. Gordon, what do we think about the old Carolina Panthers this season?
Not a whole lot. I was sitting there whenever I was looking through, I try to look at that, but I also look at who they lost. And they had 2 big losses, and they was both on the line. And how can you say that their 2 biggest losses was played the same position? But they did. Their 2 biggest losses was their 2 centers. Now, they did have a decent running game. I mean, their running game was pretty good. It had to be because their passing game wasn't worth most of the year. They won games just running the ball. Chuba Bubba ran pretty good. Yeah, they lost Austin Corbett and Cade Mays. One of them went to Pittsburgh. I can't remember which one. I think it was Cade Mays, wasn't it?
I think so.
But as far as your best draft pick, in my opinion, was the guy I was wanting my team to take, but obviously he wasn't around long enough. And that's Monroe Freeling. Dude's a beast out at tackle. And I did like my favorite signing was Devin Lloyd.
Yeah.
As far as that you wanted your team to take him.
Yes.
But overall, I think they're probably going to have a decent season. They're going to turn their record around. I believe they're going to go 9-8.
Ooh, flip it around, 9-8. Did I not mention the over-under on that?
No.
I don't think so.
I did not.
every team was 8 wins, you'd probably think, man, it's a tough call no matter which way you go.
I wanted to do this on the fly. I did not write it down.
The over-under is 7.5.
7 and
Okay,
a
so
half.
we're going over.
All right. Gordon's got him going over. Gage, what do you think about the old Panther?
Yeah, just looking at the over is plus 110 right now. If you were to bet on it, the under is minus 130. So maybe throw your money on the plus 110 there and make a little bit back. The Panthers are expected to have the toughest schedule out of any team in this division, but they also had the best offseason, you could say, of anyone in the division. Like you guys mentioned, they splurged for Jalen Phillips. They got Devin Lloyd, who I agree right with you, Brent. I was hoping Pittsburgh would get him, but let's be honest. We hope our teams get every good free agent, and it's just not true. Then in the draft, they reinforced that offensive line with Freeling. They draft a defensive playmaker in Hunter and a 6'4" speedster at wide receiver in Chris Brazell in the third. All eyes this season, in my opinion, are on Bryce Young. He's looking to lock down a long-term, probably very heavy extension. And this is going to be the year that he needs to prove it in order to get it. I think he showed last year that he can be a starting quarterback in the right situation. I think they went out this offseason. They got him some good weapons. He does have a limited ceiling, but do you need like a physical freak to be able to contend in this league? Not really. The Panthers can repeat as divisional champs if Young has enough support around him. His offensive line finished top 10 in pass blocking per PFF last season. PFF, hey, I don't know. The supporting cast of weapons is solid, not great. Ted McMillan obviously is going to be wide receiver 1 out there. And the defense could be what gets Carolina to at least 8-9. I don't know if I see them doing a winning record, but I'm at least going to take the over at 7.5. 8-9, 9-8, I'm in agreement with, but I don't think they'll win the division.
Yeah, so Bryce Young is entering his 4th season. And did you guys know that he picked up the nickname the Carolina Reaper?
What?
Yeah, Bryce Young is apparently referred to as the Carolina Reaper. I saw that when I was doing some research for this, and I'm like, huh, interesting. I don't think I'd be afraid. Me personally, don't fear the Reaper. I wouldn't there. You know what I mean? Anyways, so he set numerous career highs last year, but he still averaged under 200 yards per game throwing the ball. What's that say about your career average before then, right?
Yeah.
He's got a new backup in Kenny Pickett because they traded away Andy Dalton. His primary target, as Gage mentioned, Ted McMillan, the NFL Offensive Rookie of the Year in 2025. He had over 1,000 yards receiving, 7 touchdowns. He was his number 1 target on big third downs, but by the end, he was looking towards Jalen Coker, who has surpassed Xavier Legette as the Panthers' number 2 option. Anybody remember when everybody was going crazy over Xavier Legette a couple of years ago?
Yeah.
What happened there? I think Chris Brazell may actually be in that spot right there. He's a burner, runs a 4.3 40. And, he could be that deep threat for him. In the backfield, they lose Rico Dowdle to Pittsburgh. They get Chuba Hubbard, as easy for me to say. He's reliable, but he's not a speedster. Trevor Etienne is the number 2 back. He's not his brother. Then you got Jonathan Brooks back there, too, who's been hurt his whole career. On the other side of the ball, there was a big problem for the Panthers. They had 30 total sacks on defense, tied for the 3rd worst in the NFL. They tried to shore that up by getting edge rusher Jalen Phillips, as you guys mentioned, a big contract. And then they also bring in Devin Lloyd on that defensive side. And also you have maybe one of the better cornerbacks in the whole league playing back there in J.C. Horn for the Carolina Panthers. 7.5 wins for a team that went 8-9 last year. I think it's going to be, once again, they could go 8-9, 9-8. I could see either one of them. I've got Carolina going over in this one here. So, yeah, give me the Panthers to go over their win total at 7.5. I think it's just a little low. 8.5 is where I would have put it. But, hey, I don't make the odds. And now that goes to the team that finished in 2nd place, technically, because they choked down the stretch like Josh Allen in the playoffs. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers finished 8-9. So let's go over the old Tampa Bay's free agent signings and draft picks. So let's start with free agent signings. They signed cornerback Jake Browning. Good. Take him. Get out of here. It's fine with me. Running back Kenneth Gainwell. Wide receiver David Seals. Tight end Cole Kieft. Guys remember him? Me either. Tackle Justin Skule. Edge Al Wandon Muhammad. Defensive lineman Ashawn Robinson. Defensive tackle Rakeem Nunez Roches. Linebacker Alex Anzalone. Linebacker Christian Roseboom. And safety Miles Killebrew. In the draft, first round, they go edge Ruben Bain Jr. from Miami. Second round, linebacker Josiah Trotter from Missouri. Third round, wide receiver Ted Hurst III from Georgia State. Fourth round, cornerback Keontae Scott from Miami. Fifth round, defensive tackle DeMonte Capehart from Clemson. Fifth round, Billy Schroff, Notre Dame guard. And in the sixth round, they take tight end Bauer Sharp from LSU. Tampa Bay's win total this year is 8.5 is their over-under. Gage, what do we think about Tampa Bay here this year?
I'm just glad we let you do the names because, wow. So 8.5 is actually a surprising line for me. There's a reality where the Bucs shake off what happened last year and take their rightful place atop the NFC South once again. Or there's a legitimate changing of the guard that will become clear in the coming months within this division. Baker Mayfield last year looked like an early MVP. 12 touchdowns to just 1 interception in the first 6 games. However, in the final 11 games, he went a 14 touchdown to 10 interception ratio. 217 passing yards per game and 26 passing touchdowns, ranked the fewest since joining the Bucs in 2023 for. Now he's going through his 4th offensive coordinator change in as many years. He lost Mike Evans, who the Bucs went 4-8 without Mike Evans over the last 2 seasons. And their defense hasn't exactly been great in the last 3 years. And on top of that, they lost Levante David and Jamel Dean. I'm not exactly, favoring the Bucs, if you want to call it, entering 2026, but I'm also not shying away from them either. The Tampa Bay plus money is the over-under here. They're at plus 100 to hit the over 8.5, minus 120 to hit the under. I'm going to take them to hit the over. I could see them get back on top of this division. I have them finishing second, though, at 10-7.
I'm not a real big fan of this team, especially the loss of David is actually going to be huge. They're not going to be able to stop much. And they lost Jamel Dean, so they're not going to be able to stop nothing through there either, at least on one side. Because I don't really think they replaced it. But Ashawn Robinson was a really good pickup. At least, he can stop the run. Maybe. Unless they start running away from him, which, I would do. But I will say this, though. My favorite draft pick from them was Keontae Scott. And that's who he was there, and I was hoping my team would have picked him up in the 3rd round because, well, come on. We only had 2 cornerbacks last year. If we'd have picked all 6, our draft picks would have been quarterbacks, I'd have been just ecstatic because at least we would have had some sort of choice. But anyways, I don't see them hitting the 8.5. I see them going under. I see him either being 3rd or dead last in the division. Mike Evans is going to be hard to replace. Now, I know they got some receivers, but, that big-ass frame is you're going to miss that.
So Baker Mayfield's heading into his final year of his contract. They didn't get a deal done, so he's betting on himself. We'll see how that goes for him. Offense, both you guys mentioned Mike Evans, goes to the San Francisco 49ers. And they've got Chris Godwin. You've got Emeka Egbuka out there, who was an early front runner for Offensive Rookie of the Year, but the hamstring injury hurt him. Jalen McMillan should be back after having a neck injury last preseason that cost him most of the year. Tez Johnson, the 7th-round pick last year, had a decent season when towards the end of the season. You got Bucky Irving in the backfield, who, as long as he can stay healthy, he's pretty good, but he's often injured. And then you bring in Kenneth Gainwell to replace Rachaad White, who left in free agency. Sean Tucker is back there once again, who, when they were playing pretty good, they weren't too bad. On defense, you lose Levante David, who retired after 14 seasons. The big question mark for this team here is Vita Vea. He requested a trade. Have we heard anything else about that?
Not yet.
Yeah. So that, if they can't figure out something with him and he still wants to be gone, I mean, that's a big loss right there, right up the middle. So, like you said, they bring in A'Shawn Robinson, who's, got size and all that and experience in the trenches, but I think Vita Vea would be a huge loss for this team. You bring in Ruben Bain Jr., the edge from Miami, his little teeny-weeny short arms, as everybody said in the draft combine. I think he's, he's still pretty good. I think he's going to be all right. The over-under 8.5, I think that's high. I'm going to take him actually at an under here. I think they're going 8-9 once again. I don't think that Baker betting on himself is going to be a good thing here. I think that they're just going to just hang around right there at that 8-9 mark right there. And they have the same issue that the Niners had last year with the injuries. So, and to key players too. So that combination and then what they've done on defense, I just don't think it's going to turn out well for them. I got Tampa Bay going under as well here at 8-9. So that'll take us to the next team in the division, the team that finished technically third, but also tied for first at 8-9, losing record. That is your Atlanta Falcons. Somebody's Atlanta Falcons, not mine. But so we'll go ahead. We'll talk about their free agents, and then I'll start it off here this time and their draft picks. They got a lot of free agents here, so buckle up. They signed quarterback Trevor Siemian, quarterback Tua Tagovailoa, running back Tyler Goodson, running back Brian Robinson. Boy, how many people got that confused during the fantasy football? Some people probably did, man. Because they're on the same team now. I mean, it's even worse before, but it's worse now. Wide receiver Jahan Dotson. Wide receiver Olamide Zacchaeus. Tight end Austin Hooper, who I didn't even know he wasn't with Atlanta last year, but he wasn't. Tight end Jawan Taylor. Pretty sure he just false started once again over there at right tackle for the Chiefs. Edge Samson Ibukum. Edge Aziz Ojulari. Defensive end Cameron Thomas. Defensive tackle Ross Blacklock. Boy, don't say that one too fast. Defensive lineman Deshaun Hand. Defensive lineman Mason Smith via trade. He's got 2 A's there for whatever reason. Defensive line Chris Williams. Linebacker Christian Harris. Cornerback Darnay Holmes. Safety Sidney Brown via trade. Kicker Nick Folk. And punter Jake Bailey. Guys, you can wake up now. We're done with the signings. Boy, that was a lot. Now we go to the draft. In the second round, they drafted cornerback Avion Terrell from Clemson. Third round, wide receiver Zachariah Branch from Georgia. Fourth round, Kendall Daniels from Oklahoma, linebacker. Sixth round, defensive tackle Ontario Thompson from Washington. Sixth round, linebacker Harold Perkins Jr. from LSU. And in the seventh round, they draft Ethan on Ohio State. What position did he play, Gordon? I didn't put that down.
Tackle.
All right. I'm pretty sure I nailed the last name, though. The Falcons, the 2025 Falcons was supposed to be the beginning of the Michael Penix era. He had weapons like Bijan, Drake London, Kyle Pitts. And then they stumbled to a 3-7 start. They got embarrassed by the Panthers 30-0. And then he suffered a torn ACL. And then managed to win 5 of their last 7 games to, kind of stay in the division. all the way up to the end. And then in the offseason, they're like, you know what? We have one left-handed quarterback who's often injured. Let's bring in another one. So they bring in Dolphins quarterback Tua Tagovailoa while Penix is recovering from injury. So I don't know. I don't know what's going on there. I don't understand it. But you've got a dynamic playmaker in the backfield in Bijan Robinson. He led the NFL in scrimmage yards with 2,298, earning first-team All-Pro honors. He rushed for at least 1,400 yards, 800 receiving for the first time since – he's the second running back to do that since Steven Jackson in 2006 for the Rams.
Louis Rams.
The St. Louis Rams, not the whatever Rams they are now, L.A.
Los Angeles.
Yeah, whatever. Tyler Algier is gone to the Cardinals, so they bring in Brian Robinson Jr. Yeah, remember when he was good for that one couple of game stretch with the Commanders after he got shot? Yeah, maybe again, Drake London is the number one receiver over there. Kyle Pitts, he didn't win the Kyle Pitts Award last year because he almost had 1,000 yards receiving. Somebody remembered that Kyle Pitts was over there. Kevin Stefanski comes in as the new head coach, so that should help out on offense, maybe. Does he have enough over there to work with? I don't know.
He needs 5 more quarterbacks.
Yeah, left-handed
ones.
Left-handed ones that are injured quite a bit. So on the defensive side here, they bring in, or they keep Jeff Ulbrich as the defensive coordinator. They lose a few guys to free agency, D. Alford, Caden Ellis, and they bring in, some pieces over there. Mason Smith via trade. And then the biggest storyline, though, is first-round pick James Pierce Jr., who had a decent season last year, was arrested, and he's facing multiple felony charges. And, he set the record last year with 10.5 sacks. So what do you do there? I mean, I'm pretty sure they done got rid of him, but you got to replace him this close to the season starting, too. Bad timing. Like, him and Arnold up there in Detroit. Like, what are you guys doing? Like, come on, guys. Their win total is 6.5. I think they get to 7. I think I've got the Falcons going over here. Give me the Falcons at 7 wins here. Gage, what do you think about the Atlanta Falcons this upcoming season?
Yeah, so as you mentioned with their quarterback play, if you don't have a quarterback, you don't have a chance. And it remains to be seen if the Falcons have a quarterback. Penix coming off his third torn ACL of his career. So they bring in Chuba to battle him for the starting job. What competition to have. It's tough to feel optimistic about either player. Penix is 4-8 as a starter in 2 seasons, and he owns the highest bad throw percentage at 24% in the league, according to PFR. Tua, on the other hand, threw a career-high 15 interceptions with the Dolphins last year and is 12-13 as a starter over the last 2. And there's no arguing that he's regressed since that massive extension that they gave him. Miami, they did the work to get him out this offseason, and now he's landing in Atlanta. I imagine this season for the Falcons will be all about Bijan. He solidified himself as one of the premier backs last year, as you mentioned, Brent, 2,298 yards from scrimmage on 366 total touches. Still, we don't know if he's going to be enough to make up for the quarterback play. Drake London, Kyle Pitts, they have the potential to be game-changing weapons, but how effective can they really be without a good quarterback? You can't blame Kevin Stefanski for everything that went down in his previous tenure with Cleveland, but at the same time, he hasn't even won more than 5 games in the season since 2023. The Falcons have gone under their preseason win total in 7 of the past 8 seasons, and I'm going to take the under as well and for them to finish last in the division.
Gordon, what do you think about the Falcons?
Well, I've got a different take than Gage. I think, don't get me wrong, I'm no Tua fan. I think I've said that 100 times. I'm not a Tua fan. But if as long as he can keep from getting a concussion, which I think if you sneeze by him too hard, he gets one. he's got a pretty good arm, and he's pretty accurate too. He's really accurate in the intermediate throws, which is the deadliest part for Kyle Pitts. And if Bijan's catching him out of the backfield, who better to throw it to him than someone trying to avoid getting hit and getting another concussion quickly? I got Bijan. This is going to be a shocking season. I thought it was going to be last year, but I think I was just a year off. I did like their picks up. I mean, come on, their free agent signings and offense wasn't all that blistering. I mean, I think their best one was Jahan Dotson.
I mean, you're not excited about Brian Robinson as the backup running back?
He might come out to many men again.
No, not again. No. I had him in my fantasy about 2 years ago. Them 2 games you're talking about, I actually won them 2 games because of him. But they did get Zachariah Branch, but once again, unless he catches intermediate passes, he's really not going to be much.
Reach for the 3rd round, if you ask me.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, like I said, though, as far as that, was probably got their best draft pick. I mean, other than the Ohio State offensive lineman. Damn right. But he wasn't bad at Ohio State either when he was, obviously. They had a good passing game and a good running game. Yeah, I mean, there was 5 good linemen, but that's beside the point. He blocked who he was supposed to block, damn it. That's all that matters. Now, I don't know if they're going to be able to replace D. Alford or not. That was a big loss, but I've got him winning the division. Over. I got him at least 10. At least 10 wins.
Whoa.
At least 10.
You wonder, man, that would be
Kyle
put
Pitts
money down on that.
Kyle Pitts is due for 6 touchdowns. I mean, that's what Gage kept saying. That's what was rolling through my head when I kept saying that. Bijan Robinson's probably going to contend for most rushing yards this year. But he's going to have to run the ball a lot.
That and, well, you mentioned Tua's got a pretty strong arm. He also didn't hurt that he had Tyreek and Jalen Waddle out there either.
Right.
But,
so if you've got someone with speed, which they do, I'm not how good he can catch, but they got 2. I know Drake London can catch just about anything comes near him. Damn him. I was against him a couple times in fantasy last year, and he killed me both games. Yeah, it just happened to be the 2 games that they actually threw the ball well. Go figure.
And, if Tua and Penix kind of go down, they suck, and they need a quarterback to turn to. What about our Hunter Deckers of this year, Mr. Jack Strand?
Jack Strand.
He had an incredible season last year. 303 out of 483 on passing attempts. 42 passing touchdowns to 14 interceptions. 3,546 yards. I forget what college he went to, but that doesn't matter. They're called the Dragons. And he's a smart guy. His major is engineering physics. So that's like Josh Dobbs level smart. And it's going to translate to the football field.
Our 2026 preseason Hunter Deckers Player Award winner is Jack Strand, quarterback for the Atlanta Falcons.
Jack Strand.
Jack Strand.
It's
well, if the pair of testicles on the side of his helmet doesn't tell the story, I don't know what does. Alrighty, so the last team that we've got in the division here, that would be the team that finished in last place last year, and that is the New Orleans Saints, who finished 7-10. They had finished in second and in last place. Really better than what we thought last year. We, especially me, I was really like Tyler sucks the whole time. And he kind of shut me up a little bit towards the second half of the season. So let's go ahead and go over their free agent signings and their draft picks. And it's not a whole lot. For a team that's in last place, this is probably the least amount of signings that a last place team has made. They signed quarterback free agent Zach Wilson, running back Ty Chandler, running back Travis Etienne or Etienne. What's he wanting to be called now? I don't know. Tight end Noah Fant, guard David Edwards, edge Anthony Jennings, edge Tyree Wilson via trade, linebacker Caden Ellis, staying in the division, going from Atlanta to New Orleans. Cornerback Martin Emerson and punter Ryan Wright. In the draft, they draft in the first round wide receiver Jordan Tyson from Arizona State. Second round, defensive tackle Christian Miller from Georgia. Third round, tight end Oscar Delp from Georgia. They really like the Georgia guys. Fourth round, guard Jeremiah Wright from Auburn. Fourth round, wide receiver Bryce Lance from North Dakota State. Is that Trey's brother?
God, I hope not.
North Dakota State, last name Lance. Fifth round, safety Lorenzo Styles Jr. from Ohio State.
Woo!
Sixth round, wide receiver Barium Brown from LSU. Seventh round, cornerback TJ Hall Jr. from Iowa. Gordon, what do we think about the New Orleans Saints, whose over-under is 7.5 this year?
Much like the rest of the division. Not too much. I know he went to LSU, but aside from, AJ's little brother, Lorenzo Styles, Barium Brown was probably the best one they got. When he was at Kentucky, they didn't have a lot, but yet he produced quite a bit. And he's the reason why they won a lot of the games that they won, and they didn't win a whole lot, did they? 5?
He's a speedster.
Yeah. And he's also got good hands. For someone that gets clobbered and he holds on to him, he's got pretty good hands. I like that draft pick, and I think that's going to be the shocking surprise pick of the draft for them, anyways. Their best signing was Edwards, but then again, when you're on a team, if you get a decent offensive lineman, it's one of your best signings. Period. I mean, you got to give Tyler, I suck all day, chance to throw the ball. I mean, oh shucks, what did I say? You might as well hand them a broom because they got to clean that basement while they're staying there. I got them go. It's 7.5.
Yep.
Oh, I got them falling way under.
Taking a big step back. So I'll go ahead and do mine here. So everything depends on Shough to see if he's the true answer for the team. They bring in Travis Etienne. I'm still calling him Etienne because I don't know how to pronounce the other one. It looks like Etienne to me. And we just called Trevor Etienne. He didn't say in a press conference to call him Etienne, did he? I don't think so.
Well, that's Devon.
I know, but I mean, Travis Etienne said that his name was like Etienne or something like that. Anyways, I don't know.
Who knows?
Who knows? But they bring him in to kind of upgrade the running back position. You still got Alvin Kamara, but Alvin Kamara really hasn't produced a whole lot in the last couple of years. By the time the season ended last year, the Saints pretty much had they were getting people off the streets to catch passes for. So they draft Jordan Tyson with the number 8th pick. They bring in Bryce Lance in the draft and Oscar Delp. And then you got Chris Olave. If he can stay healthy, that's pretty good. But, blood clots, not the best thing to be dealing with. Juwan Johnson had a pretty good season for tight end position with Shough back there. And then on the defensive side of the ball, you bring in Caden Ellis. You bring Chase Young back. Yeah, he's back. No, he's not. He went somewhere else, didn't he?
I think so.
I think so. He was there last year is what I meant to say. Anyways, Demario Davis.
No, he's still a Saint.
He's still a Saint, yeah. I'm learning on the fly here, sounds like. But, not a whole lot. Not a lot to be excited about, really, with this team here. Cameron Jordan's back. Hey, there we go. You bring Zach Wilson in. There's a signing right there. Right? You guys excited about Zach Wilson? No? Anyways. 7.5 for the Saints. I think that they go under again. I think that they go 7-10 once again this season. I don't think that they improve a whole lot over there. Gage, what do you think about the Saints here?
I'm glad you let me go last on this one. So you want to talk about people that the Saints bring to catch, some passes out there on the football field. How about Big Papa Pump's kid, Brock Rex Steiner?
Forget.
The NFL suspended him the other day. They won't say why, but they suspended him for 6 games. He is an undrafted receiver out of Jacksonville State. He was taking third-team reps at camp, has never played an NFL snap, and he shows up on the transaction wire Thursday. 6 games, no reason attached. For what? Now the kid has to be good enough this preseason that New Orleans holds a roster spot through 6 games that he can't even play in. So, in his dad's honor, they say all men are created equal. But you look at Brock Steiner and you look at Roger Goodell, and you can see that statement is not true. Normally, when a player goes one-on-one with the league office, he's got a 50-50 chance of winning. But Goodell, he's a genetic freak. He's not normal. So Brock's got a 25% chance at best. Then you add the NFLPA to the mix, and Brock's chances of playing drastically go down. See, now it's a 3-way, and Brock's got a 33 1/3% chance of winning. But Goodell's got a 66 2/3% chance because the union knows it can't beat Goodell, and it's not even going to try. So Brock takes his 33 1/3% chance minus Goodell's 25% chance, and he's got an 8 1/3% chance of playing week 1. But then you take Goodell's 75% chance of winning if they was to go one-on-one, and you add 66 2/3%, and the league's got a 141 2/3% chance of suspending him. Numbers don't lie, and they spell disaster for Brett Steiner in the first 6 games.
I love that we've brought back Steiner Math in this podcast. I love it. I love it. I love it.
So I guess to talk about the rest of the Saints.
Yeah, there are other Saints. I forgot.
The Saints they're a huge question mark this year. On one hand, Shough was the most impressive rookie quarterback in the NFL last year. They upgraded his weaponry with Etienne and Jordan Tyson. Chris Olave also coming off a career year. On the other hand, they lost a lot of important pieces on defense, such as Alontae Taylor and Demario Davis.
Chase Young.
And even at 6-11, whatever, the Saints were better than expected in 2025. So will they continue to move in the right direction? They put together what I think was one of the most underrated drafts this year. Tyson at number 8 overall. He could be the top receiver in the class. Christian Miller at 42, a run stuffer. Bryce Lance at 136 has size, speed, and traits of a starting wideout. And then TJ Hall is a willing contributor in defending the run, who also led the Big Ten with 10 pass breakups last year. The Saints have the benefit of playing the second easiest schedule in the NFL this season, only behind Cleveland, based on opponents' combined 2025 records. I'm going to take the Saints to not only go over their win total, but also win the division this year. The Saints go to the playoffs for the first time in God only knows how long, led by Tyler Shough, and Rex Steiner has a career year when he comes back from the 6-game suspension.
Whoa! So another little surpriser there. Gage goes Saints to win the division. By the way, Bryce Lance is the younger brother of Trey Lance.
Which means he's gonna get hurt. When he ain't hurt, he's gonna suck. Oh, by the way, if Wilson ends up becoming the quarterback, I think it's a deadlock that I'm going to be right.
I'm not taking that 33 1/3% chance into the factor here of Zach Wilson becoming the starter.
Yeah, maybe Hunter Deckers will come back out from the dead.
Yeah. If Zach Wilson ends up being the quarterback, I think I'm going to be pretty much dead right. They're going to go way under.
Oh yeah, if Zach Wilson becomes the quarterback, I will absolutely retract my statement.
What a draft class that was, too. Zach Wilson, number 2 overall. Trey Lance, number 3 overall. And we're talking about both of them right here with this team.
I don't know if this is true, by the way. It says Hunter Deckers is a quarterback for the Saints again.
Yes, he's invited back to camp.
I don't know at what point they signed him, but yeah.
Well, so that's our preview with all 4 of the teams. Now it's time to get into the awards portion of this show. And let's go ahead and let's start it off with Gordon. Tell me who your NFC South MVP is for this season.
He's going to be the reason why the Falcons win the division. Bijan Robinson, MVP.
Gage, who's your MVP for the South?
I know I said that the Saints are going to win the division, but I'm not going to take a Saints player as the MVP. I'm going to go to Carolina. We're going to take Bryce Young to be the division MVP.
Bryce Young, division MVP. My MVP for the division this year will go to Atlanta, and let's go to the running back position, and Bijan Mustard Robinson is my MVP.
I also did not want to match either of you on.
How did you know that I was going to pick Bijan there, Gage? My
Because
reaction
who else in this division would you pick?
Right. I mean, we don't have a whole lot of options here, guys. So Bijan is by far the best player in the division. So hey, now let's go
My
to
one
our.
would have been a shocker, but I said no. I'm gonna go with the one I'm thinking is gonna get it.
Now let's go to the NFC South Offensive Player of the Year. Gage, who is your boy for the NFC South?
My boy is going to be the reason that the Saints win the division. Let's go to the wide receiver position, Chris Olave.
Chris Olave, Offensive Player of the Year. I'm going to stick with the Atlanta Falcons, and my Offensive Player of the Year is also my MVP. Give me Bijan Robinson once again. He wins the MVP and the boy and makes Gage happy right there. Gordon, who's your Offensive Player of the Year in the Dirty South?
I was going to go with someone from the Falcons, but I'm not going to because it makes me nervous because we got an award named after him. I was going to, but I said, no, let's go somewhere. Let's go somewhere else.
Hey, he's turned it around since we've had the award named after him, though. So, hey.
Yeah, he has.
One season sample size.
Yeah. We're going to need the Zach Wilson Award next.
What they call it? Let's see. What they say his name is? It's going to be from the Saints. It's going to be not the reason why they win games, but he's going to be the reason why they're in games. How do they say his name? Eating me? No, Etienne. Yeah, there it is.
Yeah.
Etienne.
I don't know about Travis Eat Me or not, but I think that's a different show. Oh, so got Etienne, Robinson, and Olave, Offensive Player of the Year. Now let's go to the NFC South Defensive Player of the Year, and I'll go ahead and I'll start it. And send me back to Carolina. Give me cornerback J.C. Horn as my Defensive Player of the Year in the South. Gordon,
that is a good pick.
Who you got, Gordon?
Sean Robinson.
Sean Robinson.
Big boy. Yeah, just let him eat. Just let him shed tackles and eat.
There you go. Gage, who's your D-boy in the South?
I'm going to go to Atlanta, and I'm going to go with the guy that you're all too familiar with, Brent. Give me the safety, Jesse Bates III, the All-Pro.
We didn't even mention Jesse Bates in our preview at all. None of us.
Nope.
Good pick. Let's go now to our NFC South O'Roy Offensive Rookie of the Year. Gordon, who do you have as your NFC South O'Roy?
Well, since we're leaving Walmart, I had to get the O'Roy dog food there.
Yeah.
I said it's going to be a shocker.
Rex Steiner.
He plays for the Saints. And he went to colleges last year at LSU. Berrien Brown ended up being Walmart's O'Roy.
Okay. So Gordon's got Berrien Brown as his O'Roy in the South. Gage, who is your O'Roy in the South?
Give me the only rookie that I drafted last week in our fantasy draft, a New Orleans Saints first rounder, Jordan Tyson.
I should have went second. So my O'Roy in the South is also, we're just going to
change it.
We're just going to stick here with the Saints here, and I'm going tight end Brock Rexton. No, I had
wide receiver, bro. Come on.
Okay, is he a wide receiver though? He looks more like a tight end.
They have him listed as a wideout.
Is he? He might be. I don't know. Doesn't matter really. Okay, so trying to look it up through here now. I should probably put backups on here when somebody takes. Give me wide receiver Ted Hurst III from the Tampa Bay Bucks as my O'Roy. But put the record down that actually I had Jordan Tyson. Anyways, the NFC South D-Roy. Gage, who is your NFC South D-Roy?
Yeah, very simple one here. I'm going to go down to Tampa Bay and give me not Ruben Bain Jr. We're actually going to go to their second round pick, linebacker Josiah Trotter.
All right. So I'm going to go down to Tampa Bay here with my NFC South D-Roy and give me Ruben Bain Jr. for my D-Roy because somebody on that defensive line is going to have to do something. If Vita Vea comes back, I really like my pick here. If he doesn't, still whatever. Gordon, who do you have as your NFC South D-Roy?
Well, I'm going to Tampa Bay, but it's not on the defensive line and it's not in the linebacker group. My D-Roy is going to be in the secondary, Keontae Scott. He's got a nose for the ball.
So we went all Tampa Bay players here. For our OPOI, we went all Saints players. So actually, no.
Yeah.
No, we didn't, did we? Yeah, we did. Yes, we did.
No.
Anyways.
I don't remember.
Whatever. We'll check the tape on that.
I just want to point out real quick, I just got a Bleacher Report notification. We all remember Terry on Arm. The guy that got, 8 felonies and stuff with the Lions, got released.
Just mentioned him in the podcast earlier.
Why are the Seahawks giving him a tryout?
For Hard Knocks. That makes for great TV.
It makes sense. Former Lions cornerback drawing interest from Seattle, Houston, and other teams. This guy has 8 felony charges going against him right now.
And somebody's going to bring him in.
Now, innocent until proven guilty. I understand
Allegedly.
Yeah, allegedly. But you would think they would want him to clear this up first.
You would think.
They sign him to a 1-year minimum deal, right? He earns a spot, the number 2 corner, number 1 corner on the team. And then he goes and, is found guilty and is sentenced to, probably 3 to 5 years and then, 10 years of community service or something for being an NFL player. But still, then it's like you just took someone's spot that could have had.
Man, it's perfect for Hard Knocks, isn't it? It's like a storyline.
The drama.
He'll get signed by Cleveland, actually. Never mind.
Which, by the way, did anybody watch Hard Knocks last week?
No.
The opening scene, they've got the Super Bowl rings coming down from the rafters or whatever, and they're in little boxes. And Sam Darnold drops his ring on the ground. He's like, oh, shoot. And they're like, it's this huge ring right there. And I'm like, that's great.
How?
Good thing he's already got a ring because it's not looking so good for this year. Sorry, fumbling stuff.
He's getting it out of the way now.
Going ahead and just fumbling the ring. Don't fumble the football. Well, that'll do it for our NFC South preview. We got 2 more divisions left, guys. We've got the NFC North and then the AFC North. And then, we got preseason games coming up this week. We'll talk a little bit about the preseason games next week. And then, we'll get into our previews, our last 2 previews here before football season's almost here, guys. It's almost here. Can't wait for it. And Gage, you look like you might be a little worn out over there.
Do you have any idea of what I could do, maybe?
I don't know. I'll tell you what I would do if I were you, Gage. I would go to
what they got over there.
They got all kinds of stuff over there. They've got Grandma's lemonade, Grandpa's denture water, Tiger Blood, which is a favorite of mine there. They also have Blue Raz, which is great. And they've got some anime stuff over there, collaboration with the anime, the Chainsaw Man.
Mm-hmm.
Got that going on. And if you use our promo code yelling at checkout, it'll save you 10%.
You know what else they got over there?
What else do they got over there, Gage?
They just released a new trio product. If you're a fan of sour, like I am, they have a 3 Dubby Sour pack going on right now. It is sour cherry, sour green apple, and sour passion fruit that right now The original price of it is $120 for the 3. It is currently on sale for $89.99, and you can still use our promo code on it to save even more.
What a
I think I'm going to get
right
that.
there. Oh, yeah, that's a steal right there. Do it all day. BW, be better. So, guys, got anything else to add here before we wrap it up with this NFC South preview?
Well, I like to do. I know this is football, but if we're going to talk about something opposite, we're going to talk about a different type of sport.
Hockey.
No,
Rugby.
no. Chelsea Green winning the World Championship was a nice surprise, considering
Also
who was in the match.
Bone.
Huh?
Now she's broke her orbital bone.
But she wrestled Friday night, so she must be okay.
That's when she broke it. Friday night.
Well, that sucks. I didn't see that part. Evidently, but I also want to give congratulations to the WWE for finally calling up Tatum Paxley to the main roster. She's only been ready for over 6-7 months to a year, but they finally called her up. So kudos. We got Randy Orton and Kevin Owens back, not as a tag team, not RKO, not like it was before. But KO and Punk had a hell of a back and forth. They both survived nut punches they were giving each other. Verbal nut punches, which was funny. I liked it. And we might actually get a continuation of the feud between Randy Orton and Cody Rhodes without people that didn't need to be there. Like Jelly Roll and Pat McAfee. Didn't need him in the first place.
Well, Jelly Roll, I understand. Don't you drag down Pat McAfee.
Pat McAfee is great everywhere except for doing what the he was doing. If they're going to be a WWE, just give him a microphone and tell him to be a commentator like he was before. He's good at that. This stuff about going in there and acting like he's, king shit on Poo Poo Island out there to stay next to Randy Orton. He sucks at that. I mean, Liv Morgan is more interesting listening to her talk than him, and that's bad. That's like watching paint dry.
Full-time wrestler, not full-time wrestler. I don't know. But if, we're going to go on to the WWE run here, I want to show this off that I got here. They were in Allentown a few weeks ago up here in PA for a live event. And we got, come on, this stupid background.
Penta
Signed picture. Pretty cool picture.
Yeah, it is.
I didn't expect Penta's autograph to look like that. I don't know where it says Penta, but it's fine.
I see the P.
Yeah, I guess I can see it.
I see squiggles, so that's good enough.
Maybe this right here is supposed to be like the fingers.
I think so. I think that's what it is.
No fear.
Yeah. They also had like a few other things going on there. One of the things that they had that I didn't get and I should have, but they do I think it's $40 for like a t-shirt bag, and you get 4 t-shirts in it, and it's just like old t-shirts that aren't used by the wrestler anymore. One of my friends got it, and they had like 2 John Cena shirts from the last time, the farewell tour.
The last time.
Yeah, and it was just really cool. One was the very last one at MSG there. I forget what the other one was, but it's still like along the tour. It's pretty sick. $10 a shirt, and they're probably $40-$50 if you get them at that time.
Right.
Yeah.
Nice little discount there.
Of course.
Yeah, I've got my wrestling shirt on, but you can't see it.
Whose is it?
Talking about John Cena, huh?
No, Karrion Kross.
You
can't
the
see
devil.
The devil,
That was good. Devil, I like Karrion. I miss him. Come back.
Well, if you haven't noticed, John Cena's behind me.
He's been here the whole time.
Yeah, you can't see him.
Yeah.
John Cena was just here in the Pittsburgh area this past weekend for a convention, and I wanted to get the VIP thing, do the meet and greet, the picture, the autograph. It's hard for me to spend $700 for that.
Yeah. Nah. Yeah, I'd have to. It'd be a hard pass for me on that one.
And like No, you're just as interesting on YouTube, and I ain't got to pay for that shit.
There's very few people in the world that I would pay $700 to get a picture and an autograph and do like a meet and greet thing with them. Cena would be one of and Kutch and Stone Cold.
What?
I'd pay $700 to have a beer with Stone Cold.
What? You have to have two because you got to.
Guess I'm paying $1,400.
Yeah, what? In my life, I've actually met
What?
I met 6 or 7 actual wrestlers.
What?
Yeah,
You want to name them?
Andre,
What?
Road, Hawk and Animal, the Road Warrior.
What? What?
I met all the 4 horsemen.
Well, we're already at 7.
But
then.
it was before Stunning Steve Austin become a part of them. It was Rick, Foley,
What?
and Tully.
What?
And I met the Rock and Roll Express.
Yeah.
Ricky Morton and Robert Gibson.
Jake the Snake, and I got a Doink the Clown autograph.
I'd have loved to meet Jake the Snake.
Should try and get him on the show.
Jake the Snake?
Yeah.
Hey,
I'm friends with Marty Jannetty on Facebook.
Did he ever respond back?
No, it still says delivered Tuesday, July 28th.
All right. Well, hey, that'll do it for us here.
Marty, if this ever reaches you, answer me.
Mark, I'm going to put on this episode NFC South Preview with special guest John Cena because he was here, guys. So that'll do it for us this week on this special episode. Not special episode, it's just regular episode. Actually, it was a special episode because we did have special guest John Cena on here on the NFC South Preview. And we'll catch you guys next week where we hit the NFC North. Gordon, get ready.
All right.
It's your time to shine. We'll catch
By
you
the
all.
way, he probably hasn't answered because you haven't told Marty the best part. There's no barbershop windows here.
I just send him a picture of a barbershop window. Like,
hell, he won't come now.
We'll catch you all later.
Later.